And I think this is how the biggest jumps and the biggest success stories of my life were always made when I made just like this decision to take the leap of faith and actually figure it out along the way, instead of trying to figure out every detail beforehand. Welcome everyone to Life with Liza podcast. Our mission at Life with Liza is to share people's stories and the challenges that they have overcome, so that those who are listening in can get the strength, the courage, and the hope to be their better selves. And I wanted to welcome you to this special edition episode. I also wanted to thank you for spending your time and energy watching this video and wanted to become better and investing your time and energy in actually doing so. Not just talking a big game, but also actually taking the steps. And that's something that would differentiate you from everyone else who just talks. And a lot of people do. And today I wanted to talk about something very interesting that I noticed this pattern in my life, and I wanted to share it with you. You know how there's this phrase that the most important thing that you can actually do is just to get your foot in the door and then to figure it out afterwards. And I feel like the biggest mistake that sometimes we make in life is that we feel like we need to know everything before we actually take action, instead of us taking a certain action and then learning along the way and figuring it out once our foot is already in the door and we jumped into a certain situation. And I feel like successful people who actually do succeed and do all of these crazy things, they do it in that order. They first get their foot in the door and then they figure things out. Whereas people who don't succeed in life, they try to do it in reverse. And that not only still stops them from generating momentum in their lives, but also it just encourages procrastination and actually the actual fact that, you know, you will never ever know everything perfectly and you will never be fully ready to take that action. So basically you are setting yourself up for failure by trying to be as fully prepared as possible before you take action. So a few things in my life where I've actually done this, and I love sharing these examples because it was crazy. One of the how I learned Dutch is actually very funny, because I got this job where I had to already be speaking Dutch, and I actually had to be fluent in Dutch to get the job. And it was like a part-time job as a hospitality in the hospitality area. And it was very interesting because I did not speak Dutch. I could speak German, and that helped me very much with understanding Dutch, but my Dutch was very far from being fluent. But I knew that if I get myself actually in there and I put myself in those circumstances and I'm there at a certain hospitality event, working as a waitress or just helping people around, I will be able to figure it out. I will be able to figure out even the language that I don't speak. I just need to actually manage to get in. And that was so true, because of course that was a very intense environment, because everyone else around me was Dutch or from Belgium and they were speaking Dutch fluently, and I was the only one who didn't. And all the description of the jobs, what we need to do that certain day, everything was coming in Dutch. But I could look what other people are doing, kind of mimic it, just like have some small talk, let them talk and figure things out. And I knew that even in this very extreme situation, once you are in that situation, you will figure it out. And that's literally how we were built. We were built for survival. So if you put yourself in such crazy, dangerous situation when anytime you can be exposed that you don't speak Dutch, you will start speaking Dutch so much faster. Your brain is literally wired for that. Whereas if you're in the comfort of your own home and you try to learn Dutch, it will take you years, decades to get to that level. But if you put yourself in a dangerous situation where your mind is like, oh my God, whether we will survive or not depends on whether I can speak Dutch, your mind will pick up Dutch literally in the seconds. So the reason why I'm saying it, because so often we sit in the comfort of our homes and we try to prepare for a certain event, like getting that part-time job and speaking Dutch there, or anything else. It could be anything else really, instead of actually taking that action and getting your foot in the door. Just get it, just start doing it. And believe me, your brain is wired to help you in those situations. Whichever situation you actually start throwing yourself in, your brain will help you because you'll get so scared when you put yourself in that extreme situation that the brain really feels like it's a moment of survival, and then it helps you and it uses all its power. And then in my case, I started remembering Dutch words in seconds, and nobody had to repeat it to me because my brain was like, okay, this is very important for our survival. And also same, I think if you have listened to any of the previous episodes, you have already heard the story of how I moved to Paris without having a job or any plan, and then figured out there. And I think this is how the biggest jumps and the biggest success stories of my life were always made when I made just like this decision to take the leap of faith and actually figure it out along the way, instead of trying to figure out every detail beforehand. So I just wanted to share it with you, because if there is any situation in your life where at this moment you're thinking, should I do it, but I don't feel like I'm fully ready, just do it. I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out along the way. Stop overthinking it, just start acting. You will learn so much along the way and you will never be fully prepared. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed another episode of me sharing my crazy stories. And if you did enjoy it, please be sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it with someone who is also struggling to take the leap of faith. And I'll see you in the next video.